anymore. You know, I had this experience. I was flying to Hawaii for this shamanic retreat that was so profound and beautiful, and I was so lucky to get to go on it with these amazing people. And I changed planes in the Denver airport. You know, I get out of the plane, the one plane, I go to the airport, and there are people running through the aisles with face masks because they're scared of the SARS virus. There are National Guardsmen carrying machine guns with their fingers on the trigger and canteens for some reason that I've never quite understood. On CNN, blaring, there is, you know, we've just gotten into Baghdad, hooray, there we go. You know, it's a dream. You know, it's the dream time. You know, it's not a reality. It's a dream. Story about, maybe apocryphal, but good enough. Somebody visited the Australian Aboriginals. He asked one of the Aboriginal shaman, you know, what is the dreaming? The shaman pointed up at a plane flying over the sky. He said, white man dreaming. I got really involved with the ideas of Rudolf Steiner, and I really recommend that people read his books and think through his ideas. He's an incredible visionary. He is just so fucking amazing, and he went so deep into his thoughts. And it's so interesting how, you know, he's kind of been not taken seriously. We know the Waldorf schools, you know, that he founded, most important independent educational system on the planet. We know biodynamic agriculture, which he created, you know, forerunner to organic agriculture, actually more profound in some ways. Okay? He would never put forward these ideas. He would wait until somebody came to him and said, well, how do you apply your ideas to education, these esoteric concepts, these crazy ideas? For me, what Rudolf Steiner is, he is a kind of modernist recapitulation of the indigenous shamanic cosmology at a higher level of articulation. Steiner said that his mission in coming to the earth during that life was to bring the knowledge of reincarnation back to the West. Steiner said that not only do people incarnate again and again, but the earth itself reincarnates. This is currently the fourth incarnation of the earth. In every incarnation of the earth, humanity has been different. Humanity has always been with the earth. Humanity exists to transform the earth on a sidereal scale. On a higher scale, we are a single organism co-evolving with the earth. Steiner describes... So one thing very interesting about this, the Hopis say exactly the same thing. They say that this is the fourth world, and we're currently passing through the transition to the fifth world. That's what 2012 is. We're in the transition stage right now. Material reality is becoming subtly less dense. Reality is becoming more psychically malleable, gently. It happens in stages. Steiner talks about like Atlantis and Lemuria. You know, we're never going to find relics from Atlantis. Atlantis was a different consciousness state. Different consciousness state is a different relationship to time and space. Next phase, next incarnation of the earth. Human beings, okay, what's going to happen? According to Steiner, the organ of reproduction, just one thing, moves from the genital chakra to the throat chakra. Okay? We start to be able to sing or enunciate beings like ourselves into existence. When I went down to the Amazon in Ecuador, I worked with this amazing shaman, Don Cesario. You know, tribe was 30,000, turn of the century, down to about 700 people. He's their last great shaman, holding the pure line, you know, totally, you know, like dealing with all these hostile forces, you know, the oil companies, the guerrillas, the drug smugglers. He's there, he's holding the pure line of the ayahuasca knowledge, okay? You know, his singing in ayahuasca trance is so profound. They told me when the tribe used to sing all together, go deep, deep, deep into the ayahuasca trance, they would do it for nights upon end. Sometimes at the end of the night, the shaman would look down, and in his hand would be a seed or a sapling. They would have sung a new plant into existence because what they're doing is interacting with the elemental spirits, with the elemental forces. And the plant would be a medicinal herb that they need for their tribe, some plant they needed. Okay? When I heard this, of course, I was like, that's ridiculous, no way. I let it sink in. I had my own magical experiences. I believe that it is the case. I believe that using shamanism, ayahuasca, mushrooms, we can do things that are incredibly impossible from our current perspective. And those spirits and those forces are waiting to work with us. And they're ready. They've been waiting for this time. So going into shamanic practice is part of the key to turning this whole thing around. It has to be done very attentively, very highly consciously. It's very valuable to go back to the native traditions and to see what the Native American church is, to see, how the indigenous shamans hold the medicine. It's very important. I think he's interesting. He's kind of a trickster. He's kind of a circus showman. But it's the same information as Arguelles. I think that's part of what's happening. Magnetic North is flipping like crazy. Thesis of my next book. Destruction of the biosphere by modern industrial civilization is a willed cataclysm designed to force the accelerated evolution of human consciousness to the next level. It's exquisitely timed. If you look at any process in nature, timing is exquisite. Fetal development, moment by moment, chemical signals released. Okay? Consciousness, evolving consciousness of a planet. LSD popped into the world, 1943, Basel, Switzerland, center of medieval alchemy, final solution going on all around. That's the seed, moves us forward, one of the seeds. Had to be integrated in stages, how to work with that medicine. That reminds me of something else that I don't think really addresses this. Another way, there are many different ways, kind of articulations with which to look at what's happening, and it's really nice to just have a bunch of different ways so that we can go deeper into understanding. And it's like levels of awareness. We have to keep pushing into it because it's scary. Talking about a total transformation of the earth, okay? Total transformation of humanity, okay? One way is to talk about the tree of life in the Kabbalah, and from that to the Mandelbrot set, fractals. Tree of life in the Kabbalah, 10 sephiroths. Each sephiroth contains another tree of life. Infinite. It's a fractal. Okay? If you take the tree of life and you take away Kether, and beneath Kether is the phantom sephiroth, the 11th, Daf, okay, which is both the abyss and knowledge. If you draw a circles and sort of curves rating out from Daf, the abyss and knowledge, and make a kind of shape like that, with the little curls for the, for the Sephiroth, you have exactly the Mandelbrot set. So, I think we need a different way of thinking about, and our language is going to evolve also. Our language is going to change, because it's not really about dimensions. That's too hard a word. It's more about intervals, infinite intervals, infinite possible experiences of consciousness. Part of 2012 is going to be, the ability to explore different types of time and space, which are also different beings. Steiner says the universe is entirely composed of beings in different states of consciousness. Okay? I say that consciousness is technology. Steiner talks about, he describes the incarnations of the Earth, and then he gives them different names. It's a little confusing. We're in the Earth phase. Next phase he calls the Jupiter incarnation. Okay? Bush, Cheney have an island in Florida, Jupiter Island. That's where they go to retreat. They're part of the process. It's coevolution. Mars this week approaching the Earth, 60,000 years, the closest. One of the nights that it came really, really close, late in the night after having enjoyed certain sacraments. I noticed that my whole body was softly vibrating. My hands were vibrating. This other woman I was sitting next to said exactly the same thing, unbidden by me. And I realized that what happened is that, the solar system is a kind of a vibratory matrix, a resonant tuning system. Mars approaching the Earth, changing the vibrational frequency of the planets, making it a little